So, y'all, me and my son went to the pool today, and there was this little girl, and my son, for some reason, kids just flock to him. They absolutely love him. Kids of all ages. There was this little girl that came up, kept talking to him. She even came and sat beside him for a while. And kind of what sparked the conversation was my nephew, which is in his 30s, drove by because we're at my niece's pool, and he had dropped her off. And he drove by, and my son flipped him off. Like, they both did it. They were just doing what family does. Anyway, so my son flipped him off too. And the little girl came over wanting to know if my son had beef with that person. So my son was explaining to him that it was family, that's just what they do, blah, blah, blah. But I kept looking at this girl, and she was around, she looked to be around 8 maybe, because she made the comment about being in 3rd grade. And I thought she said maybe last year being in 3rd grade. But I kept looking at her because something about her, like I had seen her face before. And I just kept thinking and kept thinking and kept looking at her. And then it hit me. Do y'all remember Summer Wells that went missing a couple of years ago from, I think it was Hawkins County, Tennessee? So I Googled her name, looked at her picture, and y'all, when I tell you, this girl, they could have been twins. It bothered me. Like, the whole time I just kept watching her and watching the people she was with, and it was crazy. So shortly after that, my niece came down to the pool, and I said something to her. I said, "Do you remember the little girl that went missing a few years ago?" Told her who it was. I pointed out the little girl at the pool, pulled up Summer Wells' picture, and her eyes was like, she just kept looking at her and was like, "That's weird." I showed the picture to my son, and he was like, "Oh my God." So there is an age progression picture currently if you Google her name. Now, this little girl didn't really look like the age progression photo. This little girl looked like she did when she went missing. And I think she went missing when she was like 5. And it was 2, maybe 3 years ago that she went missing. It may be 3 now. But when I tell you, this girl could have been her identical twin. That is how much she looked like her. Even my niece was like, "Do you think we need to call somebody? Like, do we need to report it?" That's how much she looked like this girl. And we watched and we watched and we watched the whole time we were at the pool. And it was really kind of odd because she just all of a sudden disappeared. We didn't see where she went. She just all of a sudden wasn't there. But the lady she was with one lady initially, and then another lady came, and they were all 3 in the pool. But then all of a sudden the little girl is just gone, like she's not at the pool. But the 2 ladies are at the pool. So we don't know where she went. It was just very odd. And I really wanted to take a picture of her, but she's a child. I wasn't going to do that. But when I tell you, they are identical. They are identical. I felt like I was looking at her. It was insane.